Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking over about the second phase of 3.1 banners that will be Nilou and albedo. And here are the new banners of Nilou and albedo, and now it is confirmed that the 4 stars will indeed be Xiangling, Beidou, and Barbara. Let's talk about Nilou first. Nilou is a very interesting character coming out this patch. Not only is she a Hydro unit, but her kit evolves around Dendro cores. Her abilities are kind of simple. Her E basically makes her deal AoE hydro damage with 2 different stances, one making her normal attacks deal hydro damage, or just pressing it over and over again making her deal different forms of hydro attacks, where at the end gives you a hydro aura that basically gives AoE hydro application, kind of like Barbara's E, with her burst basically dealing AoE hydro damage with marking enemies doing more hydro damage on top of it. But an interesting part of her kit is where she has a passive that basically increases an anomalous reaction between Dendro and Hydro called Bloom, where it basically increases the damage not only of Bloom, but also decreases the time it takes for these Dendro cores to explode, dealing more damage overall when producing more Dendro cores. But the only kicker is that with her newest passive, it can only work if your team is filled with only Hydro and Dendro, which is the very bad part about Nilou, because it restricts on what kind of team comps that you want to build around her, and it also restricts her with certain supports that you can run with her. And considering that Dendro is a very new element into the game, there's very limited Dendro supports that can work really well with Nilou and with her passive. And I also don't find this very coincidental that not only that Nilou is coming out in the second patch of 3.0 where Dendro was introduced, it doesn't surprise me that the next patch we are getting Nahida, the Dendro Archon, which could possibly be a very good support for Nilou in this case in terms of her passive working very well. It doesn't surprise me that they will want to increase Nahida's sales, especially for people that really like Nilou and want to make her strong, but also just bait people into spending more money for Nilou and Nahida if they really want Nilou to work really well. Overall, I think her kit looks fine. I think she's gonna deal decent damage, but on release I don't expect her to be all that surprising considering how many limited characters, especially Dendro, that we have so far. I think Dendro MC will definitely be one of the characters you definitely want to run with Nilou, but overall her kit looks fine. She is an HP scaling character, so running double Hydro to get the Hydro resonance does seem very ideal. Just looking at how to build Nilou, from what I know so far, is running her on triple HP on the Sands Goblet and Circlet, which means that it's gonna be very hard to make her an on-field damage dealer if you're gonna mainly want to build HP on her substat, but we will have to wait and see when she releases. For me personally, I think I will be skipping Nilou. I think I'd rather get her on her rerun because there is an off chance that not only that Nahida will definitely be a highly supported unit for Nilou's kit, but also there's an off chance we will get more Dendro characters later down the line that will work really well with Nilou's kit overall, to where I will most likely get those Dendro characters, and when the time comes for Nilou's rerun, I could then get her with the built up supports of Dendro characters and Hydro characters that I have and make her strong when I then get her later down the line. But the main reason that I will be skipping her is just because her kit doesn't really interest me. I think it's kind of weird releasing her at this point of the game when Dendro is just a new added element and we don't really have that much Dendro characters to really support her Bloom passive to make it more ideal compared to running other team comps that we have available in the game since day one. I really like her as a character, but just her functionality in the game right now just doesn't feel ideal to me, so I'm more willing to wait to get more Dendro characters that work really well with her and then get her on her rerun when she does come back. But yeah, that is my take on Nilou. Moving on to albedo. Albedo, he released back in 1.2. He's not that really great of a geo unit. He's decent in providing some supportability in geo comps and also in others in providing elemental mastery from his burst, but overall he's more useful in geo comps, and geo comps are really expensive to build. So I don't really recommend wishing for him unless you really like him as a character. And now moving quickly through the 4 stars, Xiangling, she is a really good 4 star. She is free for anyone that plays the game, but if you do happen to get her with more constellations, she does become way more stronger, so getting her on this banner is a really big benefit. Beidou, a really strong off-field electro support that deals a lot of damage and really good in a lot of team comps like electric charge. aggravate. Overall, a really solid electro unit. Barbara, I think she's also free, but she's not really that great of a hydro support. She's decent in hydro application, but overall I think she's just mainly as a basic healer, so don't really focus on getting constellations on her. But yeah, that is my take on the character banners. Now moving on to the weapon banner. I'm just gonna straight up the bat, this weapon banner is definitely a bait and not really good, just mainly because the main weapon is a HP main stat, which is mainly built for Nilou, but the J Cutter is an overall good weapon to put on any character, even though they don't really benefit from the HP passive. But yeah, I honestly think this isn't really worth the pull, especially since the new weapon, since it's mainly meant for Nilou, and if you do end up getting it and you don't have Nilou, is really such a huge waste. Like, don't risk it, it's not really worth it. If you already have J Cutter, then you could potentially use that for your Nilou, and it does allow you to build more crystals on your Nilou, considering that I think the ideal way to build Nilou is HP, HP, HP. But overall, if you really like Nilou and you want to make her strong, then I guess you can go for this. But if you just want to make Nilou work and you already have J Cutter, then don't really bother rolling for this weapon banner. Again, weapon banner is never worth rolling for unless you really like the character and you have funds or wishes to spend on it. Overall, this weapon banner is a huge miss. Do not roll for this. But yeah, that is my take on the second phase of 3.1 banners. Let me know in the comments of what you guys think of these banners. Overall, I think these banners are kind of meh, especially for the rate ups. But let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, subscribe for more content in the future. Check me out on Twitch. The link will be in the description below. That's it for today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.